Good evening and welcome to the Boise State Esports Game Pants Arena. Tonight we have got a double Overwatch feature tonight as the Broncos, who have been on quite an undefeated winning streak, are going to be going up against two very formidable teams. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Brenner Bear Ladd to talk about all of the Overwatch action for you tonight. You know, Boise State really seems like they can't make any sort of game with that isn't a 3-0 victory. So as we're going up against our competitors here, what can you tell us about this overall match in ABC Collegiate Overwatch?
I hope it's not another 3-0 is the best I can say. It's definitely something we're going to have to wait and see how this plays out, as this has been a very hectic moment on our end for sure, to say the least. We are very excited to get into this match as well as see where we stand in this league, as this is one of our first matches in this ABC TESPA league.
Well, it's really kind of an interesting time being back in TESPA. Just kind of always been there since the beginning as kind of one of the main tournaments, and now we've had so many new, Play Versus and NACE, and NECC was one that we were in the past, and just kind of reeling on the way back to TESPA, the one that I remember when I was on one of the Boise State Esports teams. It will be quite interesting to see how the Broncos do. And again, if it's a completely new tournament, then that kind of bodes for the fact that Boise State could be, still in a round-robin Swiss format, going up against a team which they could, quite frankly, bowl out of the water yet again.
Yeah, it's definitely a good possibility that could happen, seeing as we are undefeated in every Overwatch tournament that we are currently playing in. So it is definitely fingers crossed that we might have a little bit more competition in this TESPA tournament as we are returning to it and it's still kicking off. So a lot of teams are still getting their strats together, and hopefully we'll be able to give Boise State the competition that we've been so desiring for. So I'm excited for this next matchup, and I do believe it's even a best of 3, so this will be very quick.
Yeah, it should be pretty quick. And Boise State Esports, we saw the overall lineup there. Some great names: Plato, Maxwell, just an all-star lineup that we have already known can make a huge statement. That lineup is brought to you by Count. Count Identity Trust Global Network delivers real-time fraud prevention, account protection, and enables personalized customer experiences, more than 9,000 leading brands and payment providers. We are ready to jump into this first game as soon as it is. I do understand that this is a live game. But before we get into any game, we have to review Doc's keys to the game, brought to us by Drop-In Gaming, and an Overwatch that's never to take a fair fight, and that means to take fights in unexpected places when the team is unprepared, and of course take advantage of any tempo that you can build up. That is Doc's keys to the game, brought to you by Drop-In Gaming. Drop-In Gaming is the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you are new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. All right, we're ready to head into the first one. Again, this is kind of a new sort of revelation compared to all the other tournaments, going into a best of 3, which means Boise State could end this in just 2. Of course, every single tournament is different with how they line the maps up, though I would kind of, if they're doing a best of 3, then I would guess that we're not seeing a sold. Like, they just did that, so let's not even enter that into the equation. But we do know that it always starts out on control here. And as we are ready to go up against, looks like Florida State University, let's take a look as we start out on Lijon Tower. Certainly a very familiar sight to the Broncos.
Yeah, this has definitely been the comfort pick, especially starting out on this control that Boise State has been so comfortable with. Not the typical Lijiang map that we start with, being the Gardens, I think. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a couple environmental kills, as that has been Boise's strong suit with these open ring maps and having so many opportunities for it. And hearing that Doomfist spam, we know Gob's going to be on that Doomfist and hopefully gets contested this time around rather than having the whole team trying to take him down. Having something like that Sombra is going to be key for Florida State going into this first matchup in this ABC Collegiate Overwatch League.
Well, it looks like Boise State is going to immediately bring out the Symmetra teleport and get right onto the point, although it seemed like both teams had that idea. Florida State able to already take out Maxwell with one of those turrets, but right now Gob is able to even it up. All those backlines on Florida State are going to have to keep clear eye out, and it seems like they are doing a good job so far, actually taking out the front line of Boise State as well as Gob right after he took out Cloud. Cal is going to remac. That's not going to pick up anybody, but right now Boise State is forced off of the point, and Florida State looks like they are going to get the first capture if Boise State isn't able to drag this out. Look at Chosen, though, trying to make a fight of it. Kel and Gob re-emerging with vigor, taking out Crone and JWM, as well as Corebrew there. They just completely turned that around, and that's one of the greatest things about this Bronco team is they're quick off that respawn.
Yeah, Florida State had a really strong opening, taking out multiple frontline members of the Boise State squad. But as we said consistently throughout this semester, is you can never count Boise State out, even when they're down multiple members, not even on point. They regroup so quickly before Florida State could even tap the point. Having that team cohesion, just being able to call it out, hey, I'm on my way back, let's push it now. And already Gob had that ult and went straight in on Cloud, but Cloud on this McCree has been able to counter him so far, and with that stun, he's been taken out by the Ryan as well.
And Ryan also using that Shatter as well as the Beat and the Amplification Matrix being used. Both Sport Ultimates being used by Florida State. Chosen also used his Amp Matrix, but right now it is this Reinhardt that picks up a double for Florida State. Cloud finishing it up by taking out Cal. And now that all of the members of Boise State are taken out, now Florida State can for sure take the point.
Yeah, this has been a really good matchup for Boise State so far, as they've actually taken the point, which in past tournaments, most teams have not been able to do against Boise State. So this is a welcome sight that we were actually having a great match night, as all of the ultimates come out from both sides. Both walls come up from the Symmetras, as well as the self-destruct from the Divas. Sound Barrier comes out as well from a large bagel. The ultimate's coming out, and it looks like Boise State's going to take that team fight with only Brew coming out alive.
Actually, no one being able to be alive for Florida State, as that is a complete team wipe for Boise State. Good news for Florida State is that they are not going to have to worry about staggering back in. They are going to move in back as a team. Gob has already almost charged up his Deadeye, so Boise State is going to have the ultimate advantage, considering Florida State basically used everything they had. Now as they try to push through onto the point, these Reinhardts are going to fight it out, try to get a few swings into each other as Immortality Field thrown down by Florida State. Gob going very low on health, is being healed back up though. Now back up to full health. Diva Bomb thrown out by Cal. Isn't going to pick up anybody, but Gob does manage to take up Cloud, as the Amplification Matrix is going to force a lot of damage right through that choke point as Maxwell. And there a boop from a large bagel. We love to see it. That is going to help in his double, allowing Boise State to secure this point with very little time left for Florida State to take it back.
Yeah, Boise State played that very well, as both Amplification Matrix came out for both teams, but Kel with that Diva again in the background. And a great teleport. Deadeye for the solo Tracer on that Cloud. Gonna try to stop the stall the best they can as they're going full trickle in, and a great from behind flashbang headshot from Gob on this McCree as well. Oh, Boise State's on full stall, even able, a large battle, another environmental kill on Diva while she's still in the mech. And with the final team kill, Boise State is gonna take round one of control.
So I have to add that to Florida State, they have done a lot better than a lot of teams do, at least taking the point one time. I think that they have a really good chance, especially since they seem to be, in the times that they were successful, they were able to take Gob out of the equation fairly soon there. So once they are able to kind of relax and not have their backline threatened as much, I think that's going to help them, especially if they're using heroes like McCree with those stuns, with that CC to just shut Doomfist down.
Yeah, we were getting towards a mirror match there, because both teams were using that Symmetra and McCree for a short while before Florida State went to full just stall comp, but they could definitely give Boise State a run for their money right now, as I'm very intrigued to see how round two of this control map is going to go for both sides, because Florida State had a very strong start on the first map. So I hope to see a repeat here with now Gob on the Junkrat. Florida State now also bringing the Sigma and their own Junkrat.
Immortality Field is gone for both teams. Looks down to about half health there. Maxwell also taking a bit of health, is able to heal back up. Looks like the mine is going to be thrown onto Kel's neck, take him out of his max
Cloud also is being eliminated there. Boise State looks like they are going up to a slight advantage there.
And there you go, Boise State unable to take that first point, although Gob and Maxwell are certainly making a good fight at it with a double apiece. They are able to get it.
Yeah, Boise State definitely solid on that engagement, and Gob just proved that he was the better junker there as he gets the last-minute elimination onto that Symmetra once again. But now Florida State also having the sound barrier come online with this ultimate could definitely help them push or counter any of the Boise State ultimates, even though they don't have a single one up. We're also going to see Shatter come online for Florida State with this Reinhardt pushing that front line the best they can, and Kel observing a ton of damage, but Plato's able to get the charge onto the Symmetra once again, with Maxwell quickly following, taking out that Lucio. So they're losing both heroes that had the ultimates. They did end up using the Shatter, but were not able to get a ton of value out of it, as their own charge is going to be able to take out Boise State Symmetra. It seems to be a very much copycat plays here.
Boise State managing to be one up in this overall engagement, building up a good amount of ultimates for themselves as well. Prone still has yet to respond, and Kel is just waiting for when to throw this Diva Bomb through that choke point. Since they've set up that car wash, it makes it very hard to push through without sustaining a lot of damage. A Diva Bomb isn't going to pick up anybody, but with the help of that barrier, Florida State is going to be able to push through. They're also going to use the beat for that extra survivability, but a large bagel is going to be able to take out the Diva mech for Kel, as well as the boop is going to be going on to Plato. Gob with that Riptire is able to take out one, but it's quickly answered back by Cloud. Very back and forth, and Florida State finds himself up overall in this engagement, but they are taking a huge amount of time to actually get to the point. Boise State now being able to respawn here, get up to full strength, and all the strength, the time that Florida State spent to get to the point might actually cost them here.
Yeah, it was definitely a drawn-out fight. I wouldn't even call it stalling, because they didn't even touch the point. They were just outside of it, brawling for so long, not even having that brawl comp. Florida State was quick to swap off that Sigma right over to the Diva, and a great denial of that tire, but Cloud is going to be able to get his up and take out Gob. So good on Florida State for recognizing that, and finally they're able to take the point back. So it looks like Boise State is going to end up taking this as we see their own Diva Bomb come out, and it's only going to be able to take out that Immortality field as well. Maxwell now on the Doomfist, showing Gob how it's done, taking out that Symmetra. Now Plato taking out Cloud on the May. Maxwell getting a double onto both supports of Florida State. This is going to secure them the control.
So Boise State has a very convincing victory there in that first match. Now they are going to be at match point. We're going to see who gets play of the game. Plato is Reinhardt, no big surprise.
Yeah, but Florida State definitely gave Boise State a fight for sure, more than most teams that we have seen in the prior tournaments, as they were able to take the point and win multiple team fights as well. They were never sadly able to get the team wipe, but Boise State looks like you got some competition on you.
Boise State Esports is always looking for talented players, production, and broadcast. Top talent along with good grades and eligibility can earn scholarships as well. Sign up today at boisestate.com/esports for more information. So it looks like Florida State is going to have choice of the next map. That can always be an interesting factor in how it plays out. But for right now, I think we are going to be taking a little bit of a break between these first two matches. Boise State will see if they can overall win this, since they can end it in just two. So find out if they are able to pull out a victory after this.
NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We are currently in the middle of this ABC Overwatch matchup of Boise State versus Florida Southern. Boise State, in very convincing fashion, won that first match on Legion, and now we're going to move into round two, which I'm still your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Brenner Bear. And Brenner, the thing that I said about maybe this whole best of three being a way to avoid assault, nope, it seems that I'm wrong, and the tournament organizers are just gluttons for punishment as we are heading into assault. And the game map here, you know, it's almost always been the pick of Temple of Anubis. The only time that we saw a different map choice was with Hanamura, with a comp that Doc picked out himself. So it was Doc just having complete fun on Hanamura. Other than that, it's always been Temple of Anubis.
I mean, I would love to see the return of Temple of Anubis, or Hanamura, that is, for that matter, as Doc's own strategy did work, and Boise State players had a ton of fun with it. And now being up against Florida State, that has been able to put up a fight against Boise State and win that fight occasionally, I would love to see it happen on Hanamura, especially with Doc's team, to see how it actually performs in a tougher situation. But I wouldn't be surprised if we return to Temple of Anubis, as it has been the sniper-dominated hard defense, especially with the Baptiste able to jump up and get so much verticality healing. I would not be surprised if we return to Temple of Anubis.
Well, no matter what map is chosen, we have to get to Doc's keys to the game. This is a refresher in Overwatch, and that's never to take a fair fight, and that means take fights in unexpected places when the team is unprepared, and take advantage of any temple that you can get. That is Doc's Keys to the Game, brought to us by Drop-In Gaming. Drop-In Gaming is the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you are new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. Of course, Volskaya Industries also being one of those choices that I think actually has, despite me saying it's always been Temple of Anubis, actually has been one or two times the map choice there. So just going to have to see what Florida Southern thinks is going to be best for them. And it looks like they have chosen... Oh, Havan. So I guess, okay, I'm always up for escort over assault. So this is a pleasant surprise for me.
It's present supplies for both of us, as Havana is not even one of the escort maps we see a lot of the times. We're usually traditionally on any of the other maps for that reason, because now we're going straight into escort. It's still going to be more of a sniper-dominated first checkpoint, so we're still going to get that Temple of Anubis snipers, but a bit more drawn out for sure. And now with Boise State on the defense first, it seems, I'm very curious to see how Florida State's going to do on the attack, because they've very consistently on control win the first team fight.
Well, Havana, you know, it's one of those stages where I think it just depends on the overall mood of the day. Sometimes it lets you play, and sometimes you don't even get to play at all, and you're just held right towards the first point. It seems to just get even more difficult as you make your way to point 2 and 3. It is a very hard stage to push through on attack. Maybe that's why Boise State is more than happy to start on defense here. And this is what I was talking about, using that Maywall to just split Florida State up completely. And that counter main wall isn't going to do much to save that Doomfist. Now Now Plato, it is able to peel off him, so they are able to take out Plato. And Corbrew, they're getting an advantage over Boise State as well. And despite a little bit of trip out of the door, Florida State with some doubles from their Reinhardt and Chrome and JWM also chipping in, they are able to start pushing forward.
Yeah, that was practically a team wipe for Florida as they were just barely that timing off as Gob just responded a bit too soon there. They're so good on Florida State. Once again, like I said, they are very good at winning that first team fight. Hey, they have that recognition. Yes, they also had Spawn right at their backs. Boise State pushing up very aggressively. And that Doom is right there, able to open up on Boise State. He was able to get taken out as he was alone. But Boise State collapsing right on top of this cart and winning this team fight, as has been tradition for this matchup so far.
Oh.
We give you first team fight, we're going to bring it back, get our ults, and roll over you. So Boise State reclaims the card.
It's interesting that we were speculating about maybe some snipers being brought out here, because really Boise State has kind of brought out the opposite of snipers. They brought out Maybrawl.
And McCree's a sniper, it's fine. He has left click, it counts.
It does count, but it's still focused a lot of just really trying to split up that enemy team and then just letting their Reinhardt swing into them. Maxwell is going to be able to pick up a double. Plato also getting rid of Corbrew as Florida State now. They're going to stagger out, especially on this Baby Diva here. Just wait until the very last moment, and then that's a stagger.
It's staggered to say the least. She was alive for a long time and still never got her mech up, which is impressive, as Plato was just blocking all the shots and Kel was eating them all. So now Florida State's going to lose even more time waiting for this team to come back so they have their second frontline tank. And Boise State with 3 ults to match Florida's 3. I'm curious if a large bagel will be able to farm this up for this first ult, as both Amp Matrix and Shatter comes out, but only Gob was able to get 1 elimination with that Deadeye onto the opposite tree.
And look at that, the Blizzard is eaten up by Kel's defense matrix. Kel then quickly taking out their Reinhardt, as well as Cloud being eliminated by Gob. Maywalls have been pretty on point for Boise State. I also have to say, I was a little bit nervous for Gob. I hope that he would have taken at least one of those eliminations with the Deadeye, which he ultimately did. Because sometimes he can get a bit too greedy, and in looking for 3 skulls, you can end up with none.
Yeah, we all love Deadeye because of that being the best ultimate in the game. So respect Gob for getting any kills whatsoever. I'm not even going to acknowledge that little scoff there because everyone loves Deadeye. So going into this next team fight, immediately Kel's going to open up with the self-destruct and only take out the immortality field. We're going to see Plato attempt for the shatter, but it is blocked by Florida's own tank. But a large bagel is able to get the booth elimination onto McCree. Same with Chosen on Rome, so that Baptiste wins the 1v1. But then Ryan comes right back and gets taken out, so constant trades going on, but Boise State's going to come out on top for that next one. So with only less than 20 seconds remaining, Florida State should put everything they got into this final push.
The unfortunate thing is that they do not have that beat on hand to counter any sort of CC that Boise State puts out, like this Blizzard and the Deadeye just as a zoning tool. Now one of their members, that's a great wall to block the Deadeye. Is Gob going to be able to pick up anyone? No, he is not. And huge damage being taken. There goes a shatter out from CDA there. And now 2 members of Florida State take out Plato and Maxwell. It is very even thus far. They did a great job of countering Boise State's ultimates there. Oh, and there goes a Diva Bomb out from Florida State's Diva. Isn't going to pick anyone up, neither is the Remac there, but they are managing to push the payload forward ever so slightly. Right now, Gob is out of it for Boise State, but he's going to have that Deadeye very soon online. Large Bagel still has that beat for survivability. We do hear High Noon was brought out by JWM, isn't going to pick up any of the Broncos. Kellen Chosen with a double there, and Maxwell taking out with a quick swap over to the Soldier, actually. Is going to pay dividends as he picks up a double, able to stop Florida State before they even get 1 point.
Yeah, Maxwell swapped over to that Soldier, and Cloud swapped over to the Tracer, but it seems Maxwell made the better swap as he was able to get those eliminations and win it back for the team. So Florida State tried their best and could not get to the first checkpoint. So now it is on to Boise State's attack. And all they have to do is get exactly as far as Florida State. So Florida State, the pressure is on in this best of 3, because if they lose it here, it's the end of the matchup.
But Havana really is, like I said at the beginning, a map that just kind of doesn't even want you to play, it seems. And Boise State, I think on one of their last attempts on attack, the other team just held them completely at the spawn door. So Boise State kind of having to overcome some old demons if they want to win this. Of course, if they are able to get to that parking spot that they have set up, they will win this match overall. Is best of 3. So we will see if it is kind of the same mirror matchup or if Florida State wants to go with more of a sniper comp, but I'm seeing the May there, so it looks like it's going to still be Brawl.
I believe the last one is a Doomfist this time around, so we'll see if the Doomfist makes the difference, because that is what Boise State opened up with last time, if I remember correctly, or if it was just the McCree and May.
Oh, are they actually doing it? I see a Bastion, so I think Pirate Ship.
And I see a Sigma as well, so this could very well be the Pirate Ship that we know and love from Boise State, as they all are going out separate spawns, trying to confuse Florida State and get that split attention, but they're going to take out Plato as quickly as they can. But Gob now set up on this Bastion, is able to take out JWM on that Doomfist, but now the pressure is on to take out both tanks, and with that D.Va, she's going to get 2 seconds of pure freedom. But this teleporter is set up, and Gob's going to start having a field day. This is the return of Nubani, just teleporting back and forth, holding left click, and Boise State wins the team fight.
Florida State, once that Pirate Ship gets set up, you can only really ride it as far until you have an unsuccessful engagement with the other team. Right now, Boise State, Gob is getting pretty close on that tank, of course. I love this teleport action that they have set up there. That Maxwell is getting ready to push Gob wherever he needs to be. And now Florida State pushes towards the payload. They aren't going to pick up anyone. They're going to set up that May wall, and there it is to try to get right in the face of that D.Va. And that amplification matrix isn't going to be able to stop the barrage of damage coming through from Gob here as their D.Va Mac is taken out. Cloud also eliminated by a large Bagel. Plato picking up a double, and there are no more members of Florida State except the Doomfist, and he is gone just by a split second. Boise State technically isn't going to get a team wipe, but it is more than enough to get them the win.
Yeah, Boise State with that Pirate Ship, Gob and Maxwell know how to play these DPSs to a T with that Symmetra and Bastion. So Boise State winning against Florida in this best of 3. It's not over yet, as we have one more after this, and the play of the game coming out from Plato, getting a double, make that a triple, and goes for the Doomfist and even gets him as well. Plato getting both plays of the game.
Well, that is going to really do it. Boise State, it seems, it just seems like they can't be stopped. They have been undefeated in the vast majority of their matches. And Florida State, they definitely seem to be a team that could take an engagement here or there with Boise State, but Boise State just has so much individual talent on their teams. They have such great DPSs, and of course Plato, who just seems to take play of the game every single time. It's just very hard to stop them.
Yeah, having those good shatters, it's hard not to get the play of the game, because if you knock down even 3 people and start swinging your hammer, you're at least going to get those assists and a lot of the final hits with that hammer. So definitely play of the game should go to that Ryan multiple times if he's landing those shatters, which Plato was. So I'm very excited to see how this next team in this next matchup fares against Boise State now that they are warmed up against Florida. And definitely hats off to Florida. They played that very well and better than most teams that we as Boise State have gone up against.
Well, we will be back shortly with the next match that Boise State is going up against. But for now, we are going to be taking a look at the player of the game. And do you have any predictions?
Probably Plato, seeing as he got both plays of the game himself. But it looks like it's actually going to go over to Kel, the second tank that we all know and love, constantly on that D.Va, eating as many ults as he can and throwing the bombs out. Never had any huge bomb plays, but eating those ultimates and preventing the damage the best he can. Kel is player of the game.
And that's brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve a financial success. Kel is the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. Now, that was just a great play there with that baby diva. Just being able to stop that Junkrat. Of course, the Junkrat, it does help when he isn't going anywhere and is just standing still due to that rip tire, but still. And this was a great play here, being able to eat that Blizzard with the defensive matrix.
Yeah, he ate it while charging forward and shooting missiles at the Rhine. If that's not using everything in your kit, I don't know what is. So good on Cal just being able to micromanage that diva to a T.
Well, that is going to do it for this first match, but we will be back with more Overwatch action shortly. But for now, we are going to leave you with the top 5 plays of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuardGaming. For now, enjoy your top 5 plays of the game, and we'll be back with another Overwatch match later tonight.
Again with Maxwell quickly following, taking out that Lucio, so they're losing both heroes that had the ultimate. They did end up using the Shatter, but were not able to get a ton of value out of it, as their own charge is going to be able to take out.
Might actually cost them here.
Yeah, it was definitely a drawn-out fight. I wouldn't even call it stalling, because they didn't even touch the point. They were just outside of it, brawling for so long, not even having that brawl come. Florida State was quick to swap off that Sanctuma right over to the Diva, and a great denial of that tire.
This is zoning tool. Now one of their members, that's a great wall to block the Deadeye. Is Gob going to be able to pick up anyone? No, he is not. And huge damage being taken. There goes a Shatter out from CDA there. And now 2 members of Florida State take out Plato and Maxwell. It is very even thus far. They did a great job of countering Boise State's ultimates there. Online, Large Bagel still has that beat for survivability. Here, High Noon was brought out by JWM, isn't going to pick up any of the Broncos. Kellen Chosen with a double there, and Maxwell taking out with a quick swap over to the Soldier, actually. Is going to pay dividends as he picks up a double, able to stop Florida State before they even get 1 point. Diva, and that Amplification Matrix isn't going to be able to stop the barrage of damage coming through from Gob here, as their Diva Mac is taken out. Cloud also eliminated by a Large Bagel. Plato picking up a double. And there are no more members of Florida State except the Doomfist, and he is gone. Just by a split second, Boise State technically isn't going to get. Welcome back to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. You are currently watching our coverage of ABC Collegiate Overwatch. Boise State advances on in this tournament, undefeated at 4-0. But of course, this next match against the Rensselaer Institute of Technology, or RIT, could prove to be very difficult for them because they are 4-0 also. I'm still your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Brenner Berlad. Brenner, I was just hearing from Doc earlier tonight, and he was really talking up the Rensselaer Institute of Technology. They are also undefeated, unlike us, and he was saying that this is quite possibly the best team so far that Boise State is going to go up against. So we're starting to see things kind of narrow down as we take a look at the lineup. It's going to be Plato, Cal, Gob, Frost, Large Bagel, and Nerdy is going to be entering the fray. So great to see a little bit of change up there. That is the Broncos opening lineup, brought to you by Count. Count Identity Trust Global Network delivers real-time fraud prevention, account protection, and enables personalized customer experiences for more than 9,000 leading brands and payment providers. And now, Brenner, anyway, back to what I was saying. This could be the very best team that Boise State is going up against. And if we're going to be talking about top-tier teams, what are some of the things that, even though Boise State has won all of these past matches, what have been some things that they've had to kind of keep an eye out in terms of strategy, the things that can trip them up?
Definitely the off-meta strategies or something people might bring that's unique. That's one thing that we see Boise did on Kings Row back in the day, is they had their unique defensive strat that no team really knew how to counter. And so that's one thing I think that can even throw Boise State off. One thing I was eavesdropping on, hearing Doc rave about RIT, is that they have kind of their own unique strats on some of these maps. One of them, coincidentally, was called Angry Birds. So I'm very curious to see how some of these play out, especially with RIT. If they have their go-to really weird stretch that throw Boise State off, I would not be surprised to see them possibly take a round against Boise State, especially since these are both undefeated teams in this tournament.
Well, we're going to be starting out here. Boise State, very familiar with Lijiang Tower, hasn't really dropped a match in this overall kind of set of control maps so far, so we're going to have to see how they do here. If they do bring out that similar May brawl that we saw them, they're actually going to be using this Metro Teleport. Both of them, actually. It looks like fairly a mirror match, actually, too. So great minds think alike, I suppose. Gob is going to use that mine up against Essel there. Boise State is going to be up 1. Kel, though, is down to half health, taking a bit of damage. Boise State manages to push onto the point. It's going to unlock in about 5 seconds. The Immortality Field by Chosen is taken out as Actual doing great work taking out Plato, Boise State's front line. Large Bagel, though, it's the Lucio's battling against the front lines of each team. It's able to take out Actual, so the battle of Lucio goes firmly in the favor of Boise State. They actually managed to take out all the members of RIT there.
Yeah, Gob made sure they won that fight by taking out the enemy Junkrat so early on, losing that heavy damage that you were so heavily relying on. Even after losing Plato, Boise State continued to just roll over RIT on the blue side. And so now going into the next team fight, we're immediately opening up with Chosen throwing down that Amplification Matrix.
And there's that heavy damage going on to Chosen. Gob is going to be bringing out his Riptire as Essel gets another one onto Plato. That Riptire is hunting and is going to find 2. That's a great play for Boise State as it puts things back in their favor. Axel also using that Photon Barrier there. Off the edge, DJ is going to go, which signals to me that RIT realizes they need to fully reset here.
Yeah, RIT definitely getting the reset. And with Kel now having the self-destruct as well, with Plato having the shatter and a large Bagel having the beat, it seems RIT is definitely going to need all the ultimates they can throw. They do have the one ult up on Boise State, and Kel's immediately going to start with that self-destruct and not be able to pick anyone up. But RIT is going to quickly answer with 2 of their own ults, immediately followed by Boise State's own sound barrier, or with actual bomb.
Going to buy them enough time to take out Actual from RIT. The large Bagel is also going to fall too. The advantage is slightly in favor of RIT. We hear the shatter being brought out by Pepper there to push Boise State off the point. RIT has captured the point and pushed Boise State back here, looking for probably a bit of soft reset as their Junkrat looks to maybe get a sneaky flank here and just push a whole bunch of damage. Just going to push a little bit onto their tanks. I hear a Riptire being brought out and is actually going to take out Plato. And with the front line of Boise State gone right now, RIT is doing much what Boise State is familiar with doing, just pushing them right up to their spawn choke.
Yeah, we even saw Essel take out Gob's own tire, so this time he's not going to be able to get that double elimination he got last time. And the Amplification Matrix is going to come out from Chosen this time around, so now RIT's going to answer it with their own barrier, and so has Boise State. All the ultimates are coming out right now because if they got it there, throwing it out with RIT trying their best to stall and get as much percentage as they can. But Plato is going to be able to take out that Baby Diva, quickly fallen by Chosen, taking out the Rhine, and Gob winning that 1v1 against the Junkrat. This has been a great first match for both teams so far.
I really have to worry for RIT here as they're going to be pushing through. Plato has that shatter and is just, I don't know how eager he is to use it, but RIT does not have anything to counter it right now. They do have the Riptire which comes online, but there goes the shatter is going to be going on to Blue Jay as Gob takes out Essel. 1 member down for each team, so it is 5v5 as Kel remix there. Pepper, though, look at that double on the Gob and Plato. They are fighting fiercely for this point, are going to be staggering out. Kel jumps up to the upper level to try to gain some survivability, try to buy some time as Large Bagel goes in and gets a double. He is insane on the support. But look at Essel there with the double. It's not going to be enough on that Riptire, but ferocious fighting from both teams. I'm really excited to see this match based on what we've seen.
Yeah, RIT got up to 52%, better than about 90% of the teams that Boise has gone up against in other tournaments. So RIT definitely showing why they are the Tigers right now with this ferocity.
Move on to Garden here. Haven't seen Night Market at all tonight, but maybe this will be the one where it at least goes to the third.
Yeah, best of 3 and the best of 3. And this could possibly be the map where we see RIT's sneaky little Angry Birds that I was eavesdropping about. Or maybe they'll just keep to the mirror match, as they were able to get some successes in that mirror matchup. So I'm very curious to see if they will continue with it, as already the Lucios are flying across both sides of the map.
Whoa!
And already a huge exchange for both Lucios onto both Baptistes. A perfect mirror match if I've ever seen it, as already multiple team members are just doing mirror matches.
Blue Jay is going to fall off the edge. Looks like RIT is going to, in fact, concede that first fight. They have plenty of time to think about their next move. I just want to point out, look at the difference between Plato and Heber right now on that ult chart. Plato is insane on Reinhardt, and he already takes out Essel with that flame strike there. So RIT looks like they're just going to wait for that respawn before pushing forward again. Here they go. They're going to take this side route here, but they're all going to be bunched up, and I just have to wonder if Plato is able to time that shatter at the right moment, if we will, in fact, see something along the lines of huge shatter. It doesn't play out, but instead Gob is going to pick up Essel there. Gob is also going to bring out the Deadeye. Look at Actual, though. These Lucios are out to prove who is the better one, and it's just going to be a draw as they both knock each other off the side. Chosen with the double, though, is going to be the anchor for Boise State, allowing them to keep control of the point.
Yeah, both ults coming out from both Maxwell and Chosen in that fight as well. So Boise State committed a lot to win that fight. Definitely got to highlight that double Lucio.
It's a pride battle.
It's definitely, I'm curious how this Lucio 1v1 is continuing going to go. And a great charge onto Essel once
and death by glory.
Well, Essel is not having a fun time, as he's just been targeted so consistently by the Boise State team. But Choco, man, coming in, able to take out Gob, and now with Heber taking out Kel as well. It seems RIT is going for the point. They want to get some percentage on the board, but you can never count a member of Boise State out, as they're just going to trickle in for as much percentage as they can. But finally, RIT is going to take it.
I mean, sure, it was showy, it was flashy, but I wonder if Boise State has to ask themselves, at what cost was a play like that?
The cost is RIT now has 5, almost 6 ults for this next upcoming fight. So Boise State is not going to have a fun time in this upcoming team fight on the far right of the stage from the Boise spawn. At least they have all of those turrets set up right outside the entryway, but with the amplification matrix and the Deadeye is going to be able to take out Kel. He tried to throw out his own self-destruct, but it was not able to pick anyone
huge
up. That is definitely a huge shatter. Sorry to interrupt, but Plato's coming out with a 5-man. Make that a team wipe all by Plato.
That's a nice ace there for the Broncos, doing a great job. And RIT, the good news is they weren't too gung-ho on using all their ultimates. They still have 3 right now to push back, and they're going to use 2 of them for that extra ability, but it's not going to matter. It doesn't matter you have the extra health, because the large bagel just knocks you right off the side with a double boot, and that is another team wipe for Boise State to claim the victory with style.
I think we all know who's going to get play of the game.
I think he's just way too jealous of seeing Gob get all of the glory, but no, Plato's still going to find a way to...
I would have given it to a large bagel for all those environmentals, personally.
But that is a big shatter.
And then quickly followed by just multiple eliminations coming out for Plato. This was his map.
I bet Large Bagel's just seething in his chair right now, like, what do you want from me, a 6-man boop? Well, that might just be a challenge that he has to accept if he wants to get player of the game. But right now, Idaho Army National Guard is a proud sponsor of Boise State Esports, and they invite you to take your critical thinking skills into real time with more than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them at Twitch at iGuard Gaming. So now we head into the second one. We're going to be ready to head into the second one. If the last match was anything to judge by, then RIT is going to have choice over Escort, which We did hear Doc talking about a very particular map that they do favor, but we're going to talk about that at the other side of this break. We will see if Boise State, once again at match point, can close this out. But I think with RIT, they have shown that they can really, maybe, if they can get a good attack push on this escort map, then who knows what's going to happen. So we're going to take a short break, but be prepared to join us right after this.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. You're watching our coverage of the ABC Overwatch Collegiate Tournament. We just saw Boise State get the win on the first round. And now RIT, the Rensselaer Institute of Technology, is going to have map choice here. So we were going to have to guess on what we see. It's apparently going to be Escort. If the last map, which was in the last match we had against Florida Southern, was any indication, it is going to be Escort. And here's the little tip that I have picked up just overhearing Doc in the earlier game. Apparently, oh no, it's going to be hybrid. So you know what? Who knows what I'm talking about? And whoever needs any sort of prediction when it's hybrid, because you kind of know it's just going to be Kings Row anyway. Very familiar map, but what makes it so popular exactly, Brenner?
It's been a crowd favorite forever. We see the Overwatch League play it consistently. It's been around since the start of the game. I mean, it's definitely one of the easier hybrid maps, especially with such a close first attack spawn for this very first control play before we go into cart. So the attackers definitely have a much easier time trying to take this first point as compared to most other escort maps. So I'm curious to see how RIT is going to fare going into this, as we are already changing things up from the last ABC best of 3 we played from Escort. Because as we were trying to talk about, we heard the words Dorado being thrown around, but we're going straight into hybrid for Kings Row, and since this is best of 3, this could be it for RIT, since both of these teams are undefeated. RIT is going to have to pull out all the stops here if they want to make it to game 3.
Looks like we're going to see maybe a little bit of scouting or showing off. And it's not quite going to be a Statue of Liberty play here. I don't think so. But it looks like RIT, if they are in the red, have sent out. Oh no, is it? They are going to at least teleport through there. So I'll call that a Statue of Liberty any day. The large Bagel is able to take out Pepper, but it looks like Blue Jay is able to take out Plato, and Boise State is able to hold off that initial onslaught. But if Choco Man has anything to say about it, he's going to take out Gob and Kel. He gets eliminated, though. So despite some promising developments for RIT and a strategy, which I really like, it isn't going to work out for them.
Yeah, they had a strong start. They had the plan going in, but Boise State knew where to position to make sure that they were not all taken out. But RIT, with that immediate re-engagement before Boise State was able to fully regroup, they were going straight for that point to get the first tick, possibly the second, unless Boise State's going to regroup and go for the push.
I don't really think they are. I'm not seeing them really show the initiative, too. It looks like Kel's going to try to stall it out, but it is so close right now. As long as they can push him off the point, they're going to get it, and that's exactly what they do with Essel, with that punch being able to take out Kel. Now they're going to have plenty of time to get this first checkpoint. Boise State is doing a great job on that May wall. Actually, I had to point out Choco Man, who is really swapping up the DPS. We first saw him on the sim there. Look at that great shatter, though. I have to point out by Pepper using that to get a double, and Actual also taking out Gob. It is just a complete stagger right now onto Boise State as the payload goes forward. Anyway, quickly to finish my thought, Choco Man, we saw him start out on Symmetra, then we changed him. He changed over to Widowmaker. Now he's on McCree, so definitely doing a full range of DPS. Yeah,
definitely keeping Boise State on their toes, not knowing what to expect now. Essel on his Doomfist, having that Meteor Strike coming online. He's going to be able to throw out the combos that Boise State has not been running their own Doomfist. Gob sticking to this McCree pretty steadily, trying to counter this Doomfist the best he can. I definitely would love to see a Sombra anytime soon, and immediately Essel's going to go right into this D.Va as the Blizzard's going to come out for Boise State as well, but Shatter from Plato is going to be able to take out Actual from the damage alone, but a large Bagel is going to end up falling to Choco Man with the flashbang. No, last Blue Jay's even going to be able to demech Kel, and Choco Man's going to be able to take out the Baby D.Va, but Chosen's able to get the refrag onto the Ana, but with Pepper and Choco Man still alive, they're able to clean up the last two remaining members of Boise State and get checkpoint number 2. RIT coming alive in game number 2.
They're going to have over 5 minutes again, and we see another swap being brought out by RIT. As also some swaps from Boise State, as Gob and Maxwell have switched on Fukri and Ash. So going full Wild West Route 66. So that's probably the closest you're going to get to seeing Route 66 right now, Brenner. Maxo actually swaps over to the May, and I do not blame him, as those May walls can be so influential. We see a flashbang again. What is with Choco Man and these flashbangs? He is just finding a way to make it work. A double dynamite elimination for Gob, as Essel makes up the difference by taking out Kel. Payload is still going forward. Large Bagel is just trying to dance around that point as Pepper is eliminated by Maxwell. The RIT is just kind of biding their time, and I do not blame them based on the resources they're building up.
Yeah, this is almost a mirror match, but just a different DPS and different support at this point. So RIT is definitely in a hard spot right now, as Boise State has the defense set up. Both May, RIT is closer to the Blizzard, but if we know anything about Kel, he's gonna go for he's gonna throw out the bomb, not able to pick anyone up. So that is the perfect time for Essel to throw out that Blizzard and try to catch out as many members of Boise State as they can. But Kel's gonna be able to get an boop elimination with the boosters onto Blue Jay, and a large Bagel quickly following up with his own environmental kill onto Essel on that May. So the Nano Boost is going to come out onto Pepper, her to try to buy as much time for his team as they can, trying to regroup back at spawn. Boise State takes the team fight once again, now just going for the ult charge.
The thing I like about RIT is they are showing a lot of discipline. We've seen so many teams against Boise State just, okay, let's build up 6 ultimates and all press Q at the same time and see how that works. But RIT is really one of the few teams that we have been seeing a lot of that discipline and planning what their strategy is going to be. As we see, the Blizzard and the Deadeye are being brought out, as well as 2 May walls, and Pepper is going to be eliminated by Plato. Blue Jay also very low on health, taken out of the map, but is surviving for now. As Liam actually was a little bit low on health, but managed to heal up. We also see the May wall being thrown out there by RIT, giving them just a little bit of breathing time. They're trying to decide which way they want to go, and it looks like they're actually going to be going for a reset here. And Essel there with the pick onto Gob. That could be the green light that they need.
Yeah, Gob was definitely way too far forward on this. Ash being able to take out by a May, most likely from those right-click icicles that she can shoot out. But with this amplification matrix, Kel was just stuck between that Mei wall and the payload, trying to deal as much damage as he could, but ends up getting taken out by Liam. So now being down a tank, Boise State's gonna have to get a hard defense with throwing out that self-destruct from Blue Jay, not able to pick up any members of Boise State. It is an all-out brawl here. I'm surprised neither team went for a brawl comp. The shatter attempt from Plato came out, not landing on any members of RIT, so they're going to drop her own sound barrier. Same with amplification matrix in the backline from Liam. And now they're going to throw out their own shatter and Blizzard. RIT is giving Boise State everything they got, so Boise State's going to answer with their own self-destruct and is going to be able to pick up Liam in the back line. Same with Pepper and Essel in the front lane, taking out 2 members of Boise State. This is an all-out, endless team brawl right now.
Look at Essel there with that Mei wall on top of the payload to knock Kel off of the high ground. And Gob with a triple himself is going to be stopping RIT. Now, to RIT's credit, in that very long, drawn-out engagement, they did manage to push almost to the 3rd checkpoint. So they are going to have 1, possibly 2 pushes left to be able to end it with 3.
That was an incredibly long brawl for this high level of skill play. Most people like using their ults, and if they get kills with that, they'll push forward or just regroup. So Maxwell immediately opening up with this Blizzard, able to take out Liam so early on, but is going to get flashbang and taken out by Blue Jay. But Gob's quickly going to follow it up with 2 eliminations onto the 2 members that took out Maxwell, if anything. So Gob now finally playing Ashe as the sniper she was intended, and further back than right next to the front line. Boise State definitely respecting the skill of RIT and playing a lot smarter.
There goes RIT. Gob is going to bring out everyone's favorite Bob. We'll see how much work he can do here. The Mei wall goes up to, so they can just kind of mow down Bob as Chocolate Man takes hit. Mow down Bob as Chocolate Man takes him out, as well as the Immortality Field being taken out by Actual. Gob able to eliminate Liam there as Chosen throws down his application matrix. As we see the boop off the edge with the boosters again onto Gob. We've just been seeing so many unorthodox, whether it's the flashbang or the boosters. These teams are using every ability they can to take out their opponents as Plato and Chosen get eliminated. In this position that RIT has put themselves in, I kind of like here, as they have so much they want to use here. They're going to be focusing down Kel here, who actually is able to take down Essel with the Diva Bomb. RIT has to be very mindful that they do not C9 off of this payload here. They are going to drive it into overtime, but a large Badal and Gob are going to take out Liam and Actual as we see the Shatter be brought out, but it's too late. And the Diva Bomb is only going to pick up Gob, actually, and that is just going to be enough of a defense that Boise State makes to stop RIT despite all of their ultimates.
RIT is giving Boise State a run for their money right now. They are doing fantastically with their ult management, and as you say, their just team discipline has been phenomenal, especially with the target recognition. And we saw Maxwell throw out the Blizzard, get an elimination, and immediately multiple members of RIT turn and put the damage on him to take him out. RIT is definitely showing all the fight they can in the best of 3, and being round 2, this is match point for Boise State. So RIT needs to have the best defense of their life here in order to stop Boise State from getting to that 3rd checkpoint on Carter.
And I do think that it is going to be the defense story on this first point here that is really going to kind of set the pace of the whole match. I mean, of course, because it's the first engagement, but when you think of the pace that RIT had, they took the first point in the first engagement with over 5 minutes left to get to the first checkpoint. So if they are able to hold Boise State for possibly 1, even 2 engagements, they are already ahead in terms of pacing. So it's going to be very crucial to see how Boise State pushes on in their first attack.
I mean, just from the silhouettes, we see that they have the Diva, the Hanzo, and the Wrecking Ball. So I would not be surprised if this was a modified dive to just get in and disrupt the best you can. Maybe something RIT is not expecting, but we're also going to see the McCree and Lucio on the ground here, and now they're swapping it up back to their more traditional comp with Maxwell on the Mei and Plato back onto the Rhine. So it looks like they were not going to stick with that interesting off-meta comp, and already the brawl has begun, opening up with that Mei wall, and Essel falling to Maxwell. The Mei 1v1 goes to the side of Boise State, and he's going to make it a double take. taking out the other DPS, and now a great ice block is going to be able to get Plato the pin onto Pepper. So Boise State is doing their best to just roll over the RIT defense. Maxwell is going to end up making this team fight a triple. Gob able to pick up the baby diva as well, and they take it immediately. So hopefully RIT defending the payload will fare better than this point.
I don't really blame Boise State for going back onto the Brawl comp there, especially when you consider Choco Man, who's been insane, even finding a way to pick up eliminations on the flashbang. Just any sort of dive that you send back there, he is going to punish severely. So I don't blame Boise State for going with what is a little bit more sensible here. Now, the same thing that I said for the first engagement applies here, since RIT just kind of mowed their way through with 5 minutes left. They can hold Boise State for one, possibly two engagements here. They will still put themselves ahead in pacing. But right now, Plato with a double and Gob also with a double. That's just going to be a team wipe for Broncos. They are going to be cruising along very happy.
Yeah, Chosen opened up that fight perfectly with the amplification matrix right on the end of Maxwell's ice wall. They took out Pepper on that Rhine as he was separated out from his team. Then Plato got into the back lane, got a 3-man shatter, leading to a double kill for himself, and able to wipe out the remaining members of RT. As we open up into this next team fight, Gob is going to use that Deadeye and not pick up any members, but Maxwell also throughout that Blizzard was not able to get much value as he was only able to take out Pepper. But Gob now rolling in, able to take out Actual, followed by Plato getting the charge onto Liam. Same with Maxwell taking out Essel, proving that he is the better May, getting checkpoint 2 for this card. RIT defense is in shambles right now.
And Boise State is about 20 seconds ahead of RIT's pace, so it is going to have to all hinge on point number 3 here. See how RIT can do. They have made a swap, actually, setting up a Torb, which is kind of an unorthodox choice, but that kind of has been something that they like to do, is bring out, well, not actually, they've done mostly mirror matches, so seeing them start to bring out some unorthodox choice, that could maybe be the difference here. As Blue Jay is able to pick up Gob, as Boise State has lost 2 in this push so far. It's going to give RIT some great opportunity there. An elimination with the turret, too. That's what you always love as the Torb there, just saying, oh yeah, that's a nice thing on the side.
Yeah, RIT pushing into the Boise State spawn, committing many ults. Both the Deadeyes have been committed. We saw that early on the shatter onto 2, maybe even 3 members of the Broncos. So now Boise State was able to quickly wipe them out since they were so close to the spawn. RIT definitely got way too aggressive there as Gob gets a triple there. And so now, not even meters away from this final point, RIT is not looking good, as now they're getting their own spawn pushed in. And with members trickling out one by one, their own amplification matrix is coming out. Same with the bolt for many members off of the cart as they can to stall. Boise State is only 1.65 meters away, but trades coming out from both sides. And it seems RIT is now going to transition over to kind of the more stall, with Pepper trying to get over to the wrecking ball, but Boise State is able to get the cart to the checkpoint and win this best of 3 against RIT.
That was an absolutely fatal amount of over-aggression there from RIT. Yeah, Plato got the play of the game again. So
defeated.
Yeah. So that's, yeah. Oh, now the great shatter. That's something we haven't seen before. Great job for Plato, though. But yeah, that was a huge amount. That was a really bad mistake from RIT. They pushed way too far up into Boise State's spawn, and Boise State just completely wiped them out. Their other members tried to retreat, and I think that might have just been an additional amount of salt in the wound there, because it only staggered them out more when maybe RIT just needed to push into Boise State and just try to die as fast as they can, so they could have reset and not have been spawn pushed. But those are all questions that are going to have to be left out to VODs. Boise State wins again 2-0, pushing themselves to 5-0 overall in the ABC Collegiate Tournament. That only means that they're going to be going up against another 5-0 team as they head on further in this bracket. But before we get ready to close out the night, just in terms of review, we talk about the Idaho Central Credit Union Player of the Game, and I am just begging production to put Bagel in there. You can just put all of his his environmentals on Lijon there, and I'll be happy.
I have to pretty much agree. He was absolutely fantastic on this Lucio. It's definitely been his home pick, the one he knows the best, as he's just been so consistent on it. Same with Chosen on that Baptiste. He was able to throw down a lot of those great amplification matrix paired up with Maxwell on that May. Both players definitely knew that team tempo, that, like in Doc's keys, that they just had that coordination to nail those combinations.
Well, we will see very shortly here who the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game will be. Of course, if it's Plato and Gob again, you know, it's just kind of more of the same. They are kind of the two mainstays in that regard, but overall, they did give it to Kel last round, so I do have just a feeling that maybe production is willing to give it to some more unsung heroes of Boise State, and especially him and also Maxwell as well. There were just some outrageous plays that the supports for Boise State did, you know, getting when the other team looked like they were going to capture the point. We saw these supports go out of the blue, and it's going to be Kel again, actually, which is a bit of an interesting pick. But no matter who you pick, there's going to be some great teams. But like a large bagel, Chosen, these supports for Boise State, I was just going to say, it seemed like when the other team had captured the point, they would come in with a double or triple and completely change it around on their own terms.
Yeah, I mean, RIT played this match fantastically. They were showing tons of signs of life and definitely gave Boise State a run for their money on Kings Row. They tried their best on control as well, but they did not bring out that signature shot that we have seen them do in other matches. So Kel getting player of the game with that situational secondary tank role, definitely doing a lot for his team. Never always in the spotlight, so giving it to him now is well deserved. So good on Kel for getting player of the game once again.
Brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central is helping members achieve financial success. Kel is once again your Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. Well, any final thoughts as we prepare to close out the night tonight?
I'm really curious what is going to be in those top fives, and I hope it's the 1v1 Lucio Boop where they eliminated each other.
Yeah, that was a great thing to see. Definitely a battle of the Lucios, but Bagel still defending his title in that regard. So I don't know if that puts a target on his back or not, but we'll just have to find out next week. But for now, we'll leave you with the top 5 plays of the game brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. For now, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and enjoy your top 5 plays.
Just roll over RIT on the blue side. And so now going into the next team fight, we're immediately opening up with Chosen throwing down that amplification matrix.
And there's that heavy damage going on to Chosen. Gob is going to be bringing out his Riptire as Essel gets another one onto Plato. That Riptire is hunting and is going to find 2. Team Toad is 5v5 as Kel remix there. Pepper, though, look at that double on the Gob and Plato. They are fighting fiercely for this point. They're going to be staggering out. Kel jumps up to the upper level to try to gain some survivability. Try to buy some time as Large Bagel goes in and gets a double. He is insane on the support.
But with the amplification matrix and the Deadeye, it's going to be able to take out Kel. He tried to throw out his own self-destruct, but it was not able to pick anyone up.
Huge! That is
definitely a huge shatter. Sorry to interrupt, but Plato's coming out with a 5-man. Make that a team wipe all by Plato.
Focusing down Kel here, who actually is able to take down Essel with the Diva Bomb. RIT has to be very mindful that they do not C9 off of this payload here. They're going to drive it into overtime, but a Large Bagel and Gob are going to take out Liam and Actual as we see the Shatter be brought out, but it's too late. And the Diva Bomb is only going to pick up Gob, actually. I said where the first engagement applies here, since RIT just kind of mows their way through with 5 minutes left. They can hold Boise State for 1, possibly 2 engagements here. They will still put themselves ahead in pacing. But right now, Plato with a double and Gob also with a double. That's just going to be a team wipe for Broncos.